that series pig. We're going to have a new series. Clear your brain. Delete the files that you have remaining left over from the last series, because it is time to get into a brand new one here.
Indeed. There's a long argument about randomness and the RNG of bouncing around the SCV in chat that's been going since that Zen game. I'm going to say now, stop insulting each other, be nice. And remember, if someone's being an idiot, there's nothing to be gained by trying to convince them that they're an idiot. Do you know why? Because it's literally an unwinnable battle. Convincing an idiot that they're an idiot doesn't happen. I don't know if anyone's being an idiot. They're probably not. Well, it's Twitch chat. There's probably quite a few dummies. Let's be real. But yeah, take a deep breath and just remember it's a fight you're not going to win, guys.
Yeah, it gets to that point where you're like, you got to know when to pull out, Twitch chat. You know, when you're having an argument, I love arguments and I love debates. Like, I think they're very important for humanity to move forward. But when you're basically when you're a lefty trying to convince a righty that your way is correct or vice versa, when you're a Christian trying to convince a non-Christian that God exists or vice versa, just pull out. Just stop. You're not going to get there. And this is Bly, by the way, from Ukraine. He's dropping that early pull.
Well, it's also one of those things, having a discussion about it, if you're enjoying the mental gymnastics of talking about the logic and having a discussion, that's totally fine. But yeah, like, it's like if you're just trying to change someone's point of view rather than just posit and hopefully open their mind to a different idea, you can't rest your success or your enjoyment on changing someone's mind. Like, that doesn't happen. All you can do is be a calm, intelligent person that makes reasoned arguments, right?
Yes, you have to be open to the counterpoints.
Yeah.
A lot of people go into arguments saying, I'm going to barrel my point home, and whatever they say is going to be ignored. We're going to talk past each other, and nothing's actually going to be discussed.
If you're not willing to have your mind changed on something, like, you're not going to change someone else's, right? Like, you need to actually try and see things from their point of view, and you should look at it as a learning experience, even if they're fucking wrong, to understand why they think that way. And that's going to, like, just broaden your worldview and make you less angry at people disagreeing with you. But he's wrong. How can he be wrong? It's so bad. Usually that's pretty empty. You know what else is empty? This probe's life. It's dead. It's dead. Regen!
Oh, the regen, one more nibble.
Nah, he's dead.
Nice.
So, of course, Mana is looking pretty nice here with this just very standard-ish opening. Pretty quick Cybercore to deal with the fast gas pool. Now, the big hot build order of the week on this map, of course, is the Ravager push with 2 gases, 1 rich gas, where you can make... how many Ravagers would you say you can make off a rich gas and a regular gas combined, Maynard?
8.
100?
800?
That's what it feels like when you're trying to defend this push, man. They're also... Bly can walk queens across from this hatch as well. First time I died to this push on the ladder, I was so upset. By the way, I love the production tab bug where it shows up as 2 extractors when you build on the rich guys or on this map.
Yeah.
That's my favorite weird thing. It's like, counts as 2. But yeah, the first time I was crushing this defense against one. And then, like, I was up on economy the whole time. And I went out and tried to fight the, like, 4 queens outside my natural and 12 Ravagers. And then I just, like, the Ravager count just kept... There's so many. I could not beat it. Like, it's actually so scary, these sort of pushes. So we have to keep our eyes on it. So far, just 1 roach, 12 zerglings, a few more roaches coming in. And no queens going across the map just yet. Oh, look at this roach micro from Bly. Whoa, if he can get that at depth, that's huge.
Oh, he gets it. Well, that's going to basically take the 33.3% recurring defensive army of mana thinned out there.
Yeah. All right, Immortal's on the way. The Adepts are kind of splitting up so they can cover both sides of the wall there. Shield batteries on the way, more batteries building. I love that he's cut probes, and I love the DT Shrine response. DTs are so good. Obviously, he's got to hold the wall for another minute, so he does desperately need to build another building here. Right now, he's trying to use that Adept. You got to be worried. He doesn't want to wall the Adept on the outside, but he also doesn't want to give up dealing damage. And I think he did leave that pylon just a little bit late there. The probe actually tanking damage. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. And it's doing its job, man. Like, the Ravagers were left on a little bit too long there, taking a lot of shots on the Immortal. That Ravager nearly died. Could have died to the high ground Adepts, but just pulled just out of range.
I think Mana's
paying attention.
Mana's got the counter. I mean, I would love if he even had a pylon on the other side of the map so we could hit the mineral line with the DT at the same time, but as it is, 2 base here. Bly's expansion is in a really weird spot. That's an odd Stalker warp in. But I guess he just wanted to kind of keep that second immortal out. Oh! Oh, no! No! DT Shrine's ready. Where are the DTs? Oh.
He's just warping in, what? 2 of them now. One in the natural and one in the main base.
Can Bly corrosive bile the DTs?
It's a delicate procedure here. But Bly is a surgeon.
Yeah, man. He's the fucked up surgeon. He's the guy who's like, oh yeah, we're going to help you out. I'm just going to chop your arm off and sew it to your head. Like, no, that's helping, man. It's just, you're literally just using me as your sick plaything, man. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, the bile's killing a few probes here. Mana is still in some deep hot water.
This was a perfect hold. He just didn't re-wall behind the Robo because he was like, nah, I can get that immortal out. We'll be fine. And he was so banking on that. The immortal even got caught. These probes stacking up and microing their little hearts out, but I do think this is just too much damage at this point.
That's pretty critical. I mean, obviously, Bly doesn't really have an economy back at home either, so it's a little weird. But I don't know.
Nah, there's just too much there. It's the mining time is still going, right? The DTs are just too slow being a melee unit. The wall-off's not back up. There's no DTs doing counter damage. They're all at home. He's just pulled one home accidentally because he'd A-moved it across the map and it chased the Lings back to his own base. So Mana's like one kind of shot was that DT getting in and killing like 6 or 7 drones. But look at this. Even more work is going down. There's a Spore up and a Queen. And Bly here, just running circles around these DTs. The Ling's looking for more damage.
Yeah, this does not look good for Mana for sure. Not being able to plug in that wall. More Lings coming on in.
Does take out the gas mining.
Some drones. Yeah.
Oh, but it gets surrounded. Oh, and then it gets pulled away.
Does it though? Oh, no, Bly, you had it.
The DT is pulling back to the mineral line. At this point, you kind of want to make an Archon. But yeah, he's just going to split the DTs up instead. Uh-oh. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. Ah, it's Bly. Bly, come back to me. Bly, come back. You can blame it all on me.
It's crazy that he's still on 14 probes. If there's one man who will almost make a game out of this, it's Mana. But with the lair finishing and Overseer about to be made, it's like, oh no. Someone in chat says, batteries are stupid. Yes, most things that beat me in video games are stupid as well. I've heard Marauders in Doom. I'm not up to them yet, but I've heard they're stupid.
Yeah, that's right. Every single demon that's killed me in Doom, every single person I've ever played against since I was 16 years old playing games on the internet is stupid. Rocket launchers are stupid in Quake.
Oh, they're bullshit.
Railguns are stupid.
Railguns are arena. Fudging OP, man. That's seriously so
like
stupid.
If someone can click on a head, it's stupid. All right.
Yeah.
As soon as they can click on a head, you're dead. It's
oh wow, you clicked on a head.
What were they thinking? id Software literally. Oh. I mean, do we recover from replay here?
I think so. I think we just recover from that situation. Assuming Mana doesn't want to just forfeit, which I don't think he will. I think he's like, nah. He's like, dude, I just killed 3 drones and got that DT out. Maybe it gets in the main and kills another 4 or 5. Like, you know, you still got to make sure, like, Bly still has to be put through his paces to finish this game. So it'd be the right attitude from Mana. Can DTs clean up before everything dies? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would not have gone for the second Immortal as Mana. There's a reason why it never gets out. I've played against these pushes, and if it's like one of the really early pushes, I don't even build the first Immortal. If I don't start that before the wall assault starts, I assume the Robo is just another gateway that's going to die in the wall. And I think that banking on that from Mana was real unfortunate. It was so close, because if he gets another Immortal out, maybe pulls some probes, maybe he holds on there. But realistically, his defense was completely anchored and based around DTs. So he should have re-walled behind that, not had that Immortal building. An Immortal costs almost as much as 2 gateways. 275 minerals. Whoa. Are you in the lobby?
The lobby link is not working. So
yeah, it's not working for me. I'm going to reload.
So no. Come back.
Oh.
It doesn't work because it's a replay recover. Like we were just talking about it in the Battle.net chat.
Oh, okay. Can you just... Okay. I'll be back in a sec. Just tell him to wait for me. So how do we do it instead? They've got to invite to party, or...?
They've got to invite him.
Okay. Chat's like, oh, some gambler DDoS Bly. They're like, I have money on Mana. Most pros do have protection against that, guys. We used to get DDoS quite a bit back in the day.
Oh, God, that was funny.
People first figured that shit out, and I was like, oh.
Are you still not an EU big?
Just got back in. Joining off Bly. Still says entering lobby. So do I need to... So just join game off him doesn't work?
No. Hang on. Wait. Impig. Thank you. There we go.
Okay, no, because I already tried to join. I've got to swap server. I'll swap back.
You can't. No, you can't join. Dude, come back. You can't join.
No, because I'd already right-click join. That's why I'm just swapping server and swapping back to make sure it refreshes. Because it just got stuck on loading again because I did the join off him.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Apparently, Cat's 2-0'd Shadone, and he's super proud of it. He's messaging me about it.
Oh, that's sick. Shadone's really good. All right. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, guys. Invite, please. I had no idea this was a thing where you can't just join off someone.
I didn't either.
But yeah, if he pulled back to his ramp, if he couldn't get the rewall as well, you get the immortal on the ramp with your 2 adepts, and even if the wall goes down, you're gonna hold that ramp pretty well, and then your DTs warp in and you're fine. So I think Mana also warped the DTs in a bit late. I think he warped in another unit or two, like that stalker in front of the wall. I think it was like a few seconds before the Dark Shrine finished. That's something you get a bit panicked and you often lose track of the Dark Shrine timing. And you use your warp pins right before you get the tech, and you're like, oh shit! And you're chrono boosting your gateway, trying to actually warp in a DT. So that's a very common mistake in that scenario. I think that's what happened. I wasn't keeping my eyes on it too closely either. But either way, Mana's in deep doo-doo after what looked like a perfect hold initially.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling that we're going to do all this recovery business, get into the game, and within 10 seconds it ends.
I wouldn't say 10 seconds. I'd say 1 minute.
20 seconds.
1 minute.
1 minute?
1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think 1 minute. Because the DTs are still there and it's Mana and he's got good micro, he'll probe stack and keep like 12, 15 probes alive in the main. And then it's not until an Overseer comes with more Ravages. Might even be 2 minutes, in fact. Who knows? Maybe he'll just morph an Overseer and surround the DTs and win, though. We'll see. How do you protect against the DDoS attack? You hide your IP address.
Yeah,
so you don't go click on dodgy links, and if you've ever accidentally revealed your IP address, like you don't show on stream doing a tracer route or anything like this, and any other, network tracking, yeah, the Overseer's morphing, he's just going to go to surround. So they need to morph an Archon in the main. Yeah, he morphs an Archon. He should be able to hold.
He loses that Cybercore. Pylon's going to depower at least one of these shield batteries, and also the gateway, or actually that's got gateway's fine. It's got those 2 pylons on the front, but one of the shield batteries goes down, and he goes into the main base where there is a Zealot or 2 and an Archon. So these Lings, I mean, is this enough Lings to overwhelm? Probably not with micro.
If you can get us around, you'll be fine, and he's going to go for it. That is 4 Zealots and an Archon. No Warp Prism here. And yeah, Bly knows the maths. He knows the numbers. When Zerglings get a surround like that, they're very powerful. If those units were all holding position on the ramp, so he couldn't get us around, Archon Zealot would have wrecked him. But because he saw the opening, the units weren't in hold position, they weren't solid on the ramp yet, he knew he could do it. And of course, Mana fighting his little heart out, as he always does. He's a player who's very much embodies never give up, never surrender. They both are.
Yeah, same as Bly. They both are, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is not really winnable anymore, unfortunately, for Mana, as Bly can do whatever he wants. He could send in more Lings if he wanted to. He could also drone, and droning is the option.
Well, Mana's going to kill the lair, so that's going to be like 1 base first, 2! Bly's like, you have 4 probes. It's not 2 base. He's like, I have 2 Nexus! Get wrecked! He's actually going to get the lair. That's insane.
That's amazing. Yeah.
He's got to pull back to the mineral line, I think, to not get surrounded by the broodlings. Yeah. Pull back to the choke point, so only 1 broodling, and the recall. Large
Heimdall.
Open the Bifrost.
Open the Bifrost.
He does actually sit in the top room of this temple, this Nexus, for those who don't know. Heimdall is in there.
Is it Heimdall or is it fucking Carl Urban from the third one? I got these from Texas.
All right, 2 Zealots and a DT. That DT has 18 kills, one of which is a lair. He's a goddamn war hero.
Ruin its day. It's an Overseer to ruin its day now.
He's going to turn into an Archon, though, if he can get the chance to.
Oh, the goop. Wow, Bly. God damn. Maynard, this Mana kid, he's like Kukaracha, dude. He just won't die.
Yeah, man. Did you know that there are only 2 species that will actually survive a nuclear apocalypse, Maynard? If we get a nuclear winter on Earth, only cockroaches and Mana.
Yeah, cockroaches and Polish Zergs.
Polish Zergs,
excuse me.
Polish Protosses and Ukrainian Zergs. Actually, those I guess there's two, those two plus cockroaches. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Pylon's going down there. The natural Nexus is forfeit. If Bly wants it, he'll get it. Nothing Mana can do about that. And there's that tap out. You were right. It's about a minute.
Do things like control groups keep being used in a situation like this? Yeah, not much to say about that game. We'll just hop into the next one in a sec. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you'd still use control groups, or probably more important in those scenarios. I mean, it's when you've got fights happening in 5 places at once. That's usually where people stop using control groups almost completely.
Yeah, it's more about the boxing and clicking on things.
Just clicking on the mini map, and yeah, some people are still very organized in those scenarios. Like Showtime, you'll see with like his 5 control groups, because he's, you know, the wall, Mr. Methodical. He's a user of the core, so he has lots of very easy to reach control groups. But it's different for everyone. Some players never use control groups, so they're better in those chaotic situations. True, of course, being the highest ranked one, who's like, nah, I have 1 control group for my hatcheries and that's it. A lot of players look down on his style because he does just fall behind if the game goes long enough in normal territory. But talk about a Chaos Master and a real stabby stab Zerg, you know? He's a guy who has mastered every back alley shanking technique in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, he's going to give him the Glasgow smile.
Glasgow smile. Give him a bit of a step into a dark alleyway, a bit of a Liverpool kiss just waiting for you.
Yep. Is it the Glasgow grin? Glasgow smile.
I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't heard that one before.
It's the one where you cut the corners of the mouth to make a...
Oh, a Joker.
Scars.
The Joker thing.
The Joker thing, yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched the Joker movie yet. I did watch...
It's not from the Joker movie. It's from just like
Yeah.
the main streets of Glasgow.
I watched Jojo Rabbit the other day. That was a good movie. I was like, what is this weird ass movie about? But that that guy with the weird name, Taika Waititi, whatever. How the hell you say that New Zealand guy's name? He makes funny movies. Ever since
I think his name is
yeah. Ever since what we do in the shadows, I think was the first one where I was like, oh, this guy's fucking funny. That movie was legendary. Mana's going for a very early pro block. Bly's going straight around with a gas pool. Gas pool's going to go down in a sec. Yeah, pool gas, in fact. Proxy hatch. But I'm kind of curious because there's no gas yet. Normally you go gas then pool with this build. I thought maybe the timings are slightly different to what I remembered. This could be a hatch block, in fact, if there's no gas yet. I could just have my timings off in my head and not understand, but I think it might be a hatch block attempt.
Yeah, it looks like it. This seems like the kind of the thing for Protosses to do on Nightshade specifically. Zest always does it, etc. You can always send that first probe across and be very unlikely that you don't block that hatchery unless the Zerg's doing something like a 14 hatch or something, you know.
Okay, and he does just go for the proxy hatch at the 3rd. Yeah. So that's what I was wondering is what build is he going? And Mana's already checking for the forward base because he knows Bly likes to sneak that forward hatch. But okay, it is. I always thought it was an earlier gas. I guess Bly does this a bit differently. I'm out of date with my build orders, I guess. I thought it was gas pool hatch. It's pool gas hatch. So he takes the gas about 10 seconds later than I thought to help afford that hatch. He's going to build spines and just do the classic siege on the wall. Now, some people, we saw respond with a forge and cannons. And Bly just changes path and goes ravages instead if you do that on one base, basically. But as it is, he's doing it anyway. He's actually starting a Roach Warrant off this. So he's not going to do the Spine version. It's the Ravager Ling variation. So it is a different tech path. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mana needs to get that probe to buy some time for this Adept, which is not out just yet. He goes to full wall off instead, realizing that probe's not going to stop it long enough.
That's a Nexus. So this is interesting. Almost everyone who plays against this build doesn't build a Nexus. They just go, one base, like, build stuff, fighting units, gates, shield batteries. 2 probes have now gone down, both scouting probes. So there's no real vision on the map for Mana. He's going to come down here and try to delay what he thinks is spine crawlers, but he's going to see no drones, and he's going to realize very quickly, oh shit, this is Ravagers. I got to get an Immortal, shield batteries, and Stalkers right now.
Yeah, the Robo is tucked away in that natural, and he is, I feel like, correctly reading this.
Yeah,
just 21. Just trying to shave into that Ling count a little bit.
Only 21 probes right now. I'd love to see that Stalker get chrono boosted. Let's go, go, go. It's actually not going to go for it just yet. I do love these Adepts. Yeah, this is good micro, man. Just looking for those Zergling kills, but oh, does not want to lose them. Remember, he lost one in that previous game. Really lowered his damage.
Very nicely done here from Mana. Good recovery. Only one Ravager so far, and that's definitely manageable. Immortal's about to pop as well. Chrono just to make sure.
Targeting the Ravager. Really good target fire there from Mana. He even gets that Roach with the 2 Immortal shots. He's still so low on units, and he's building a Prism, though. I think there's drone starting for Bly. I think Mana is trying to jump ahead to counter the macro transition, but I really feel you need more firepower. Like, 1 Immortal? Come on, Mana, this has got to be greedy. This is not you playing completely safe. We need some more firepower. It's just pure Immortal production for him now. They're good, important units, but he cannot afford to lose anything.
Yeah, certainly. This gateway at the front for Mana also feels like it's messing him up a little bit as far as aim moving goes, but I guess now that he has the Prism, it doesn't really matter. And he's going over that proxy hatch. Not a whole lot Black can do about this Prism, but the Immortal, as long as Mana's looking at it, it's not going to lose it. Not to Ravages.
There we go. Bile's just being annoying right now. If those Lings ever flood in, that's going to be powerful. Mana going back to probing. But I think Mana really needs more gateways and just more units very soon. 2 gateways are up, 1 Robo. He's going back to probe production. It's the firepower lacking that makes this fragile. Mana has all the tools, the Force Field, the Prism Immortal, where those Immortals are basically untouchable, but he just does not have a lot of firepower.
Yeah. Bly's...
Whoa, Mana!
Oh, wow.
No.
A lot of hit points on that Immortal right there.
That was a bit too ballsy, I do think. And obviously wants to get these Ravages. Mana, a fantastic micro player, really wants to pick off the Ravages. He knows that's the renewable resource. The Biles can kind of hit at the gateways, run back, hit at the gateways, run back, and really do damage as that count grows. Queens are now coming forward as well. A very good choice to try and damage the Warp Prism. And good pullbacks on the Ravages. These Immortals draining those shield batteries very quickly, and still not a lot of firepower here for Mana.
Yeah, he's almost out of shield battery energy as well. Mana correctly identifying that. He's going to drop more production, more pylons, more shield batteries here. Another Immortal's about to pop out, which is great. He's also going for Robotics Bay, which I love. Going for a Disruptor here could be pretty tight.
Yeah, even a Colossus against the Zerglings is always very nice addition to this, right?
Oh, man. Mana going the juggles here. The Immortal's still on the outside, getting some nibbles on the Lings. One Immortal gets really low. He pulls them back up to the high ground where they're a little safe. You know, Bly doesn't have high ground vision over here. He does in the natural because of the Overlord up there that Mana really can't do anything about at the moment. Oh, these gateways are getting deep in the lower hit points here. Oh my god.
All right, he's getting a few more Zealots in. Very important to help deal with this. And focuses down 2 Ravages. Big pickoffs for Mana, who's about to lose his only gateway production. 1 gateway is rebuilding in the main, but right now it is 1 Robo up against a lot of Ravages and Zerglings. And don't get me wrong, Mana is managing this very well, but there's always a chance if some Biles land that everything could fall apart very quickly. 1 Disruptor on the way, 4 Immortals, 3 Zealots, an Adept, and a Sentry. Mana, every single unit is sacred for this player, and he's really making it look that way. He is draining so much of Bly's money. We're looking at already an almost 2-to-1 units lost ratio. Extra gateway finishes in the main. He's even going to get Warp Prism speed. Mana, you absolute show-off. Who the hell thinks about Warp Prism speed at a time like this?
Mana does. The gates are open, but it's kind of a lovely little labyrinth of Protoss units here. Oh, the Disruptor does connect. It's not that good for Mana. It does some damage. It picks off 1 Ravager. The Lings get into the main base. They run through the labyrinth, and they're in.
Oh, good probe damage. Zealot comes in, but it's not enough on its own. There's not enough Warpins. Remember, all the gateways went down. Now the Biles start to land a little bit on those Immortals. Mana trying to multitask, but his probes get slaughtered in the main base. And as I said, there's just not a lot of firepower. 1 Immortal goes down. The Prism is so close to falling.
The Prism is so low, and that comeback Disruptor, that potential there from these Disruptors is infinite, but they just do not connect with Bly's army. Here comes another Nova, gets 1 Roach there. Not going to be enough. I mean, Bly is very all in here. Mana just needs to hold. It's not out of the woods just yet, is either player. It's grabbing a little bit of that creep as well.
I'd love to see that Colossus I was talking about. I really do think just having something to deal with the Zerglings, and just more damage output. 2 Disruptors is enough. You don't need any more than that. That's a good one! Oh, he gets 2. Very good pickup there by Mana.
Yeah, these Immortals still, they're alive. They're not healthy, but they're alive, and they're being juggled around very nicely here with this Warp Prism. The 2 Queens are the only answer to this Warp Prism, and if those Immortals are anywhere near those Queens, they are going to disappear. Couple zealots in the main base. Obviously, all the mining here is being denied by Bly at the moment. It's all being stacked in natural. Now he's starting to send those probes back.
Looking for those disruptor shots. He's going to go to wound the queens.
Queens.
Nice.
Big double hit there.
Yep, they will go down to the next one.
Is very, very nice. It feels so much more comfortable for mana if the queens die. You get rid of the queens, you can just juggle immortals on top of these units all day again with the prism, like he was before.
Exactly. The Zergling micro from Bly in the main is actually insane. Like, he has just kept these alive for so goddamned long. They're finally going to go down. That's me cast a curse. One Zergling still alive. What's his name? That one Zergling. Is that Forrest Gump, maybe? The guy who just didn't stop running?
Yeah, I thought I heard that Ling say, Jenny.
A Protoss base is like a box of chocolates. You never know which one you're going to get.
I fucking love that disruptors can just disrupt themselves and be completely fine. Like, if they're surrounded by Lings, they just send a Nova or stack it right on the unit itself. All the Lings die and the disruptor lives.
It's anti everything except balls. It's a special sort of energy weapon that they've invented.
Nova!
Oh my. Good Bly?
Good Bly. Yeah. You get Colossus as well. I think Mana's got this now, man. I think he's recovered. He's stabilized enough. Another great Nova. 3 dead Ravagers just like that. Yeah, Mana. He's wearing the daddy pants right now in game 2, looking to tie it up.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that Colossus. And I gotta say that the dropping the Disruptor in your army and just shooting, it's like gotta be the most tilting thing. You're like, what? Surely that'll die. You can't do that. And it's like, nope. Mana's got some good reactions. Great hold there. Mana has some very specific responses. It was DTs in game 1, a very different one against a different sort of push here. And yeah, very nicely done on both sides. I do wonder what that would have looked like if we saw a queen spread creep and some spines come up there. I wonder if Bly, because normally he does the hatch closer if he's doing that version of it. He does it like on the high ground, right? To get the spines up real quick. But I wonder if, like, because you didn't do that, and Mana's like, oh, it's the Ravager version. I'll get my Nexus up and respond with this Robo. It just works because he's got the expansion and then the spines just knock that wall down so quickly. Whereas that wall survived for a very long time. And yeah, I mean, Mana had very little production. I kept going on and on and on about it, right? But in the end, does hang on. Does rebuild the gate in the main. The disruptors were a fantastic choice. My favorite as well. If someone's sieging me with Ravagers, it feels so hard to push out in those games. It feels really difficult. Bly has elected to not join the lobby. He says, I'm on hiatus. I'm on strike. Screw you, you dirty Protoss player. Stop fighting my attacks.
Yep. Just taking a second here. Bly is the kind of player that like will talk to himself often and he gets emotional, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. So maybe he could also be lobby bugging and I'm just reading too much into this.
Yeah. Answering random questions from chat. Big thanks, Vici, Recon, by the way, and Free XP for the 5-month resub. Much love, friends. I really appreciate it. There's a question. Oh, I remember you used to use Control-Alt-Shift F6 for army select. Why did you stop using that? I never used that, Creep Tumor. That was like when I got the preset experimental Core Plus hotkey setup.
What in the hell?
That was just built in as the hotkey for whatever strange reason. You know, I'd be like, why was that there?
A hotkey combo. Yeah.
Well, that was literally, this was an experimental version that Jack Attack threw together with me, and I didn't use the Select All Army key at all at the time. For many years, I didn't use the Select All Army key. I use it more now, to the point where it's almost a bad habit with how much I use it, especially when I get kind of pulled apart in a messy game as Terran. I would say that's where it hurts me the most. But yeah, no, I used to never use it. And then I eventually was like, I'll start using it every now and then. So I put it on F7, which is like just above my resting position because I use the right-hand side of the keyboard with the core. But I remember I used to get so many questions. Like my Warp Gate hotkey is still like Control-Alt-Shift-F9 or some shit. People are like, oh, why is it on that? And I'm like, because I'm not a pleb who relies on the video game to control my Warp Gates. I hotkey them myself. You fucking Legacy of the Void noobs who've come in here having the mechanics of the games handed to you. Go back and play friggin' Warcraft 1. You have to hold down a hotkey to drag a box to select units. Go enjoy that. Get some history.
You did too.
Yeah. And you could box up to 4 at a time. 4 units, maximum selection.
And they move in a grid. They go forward. They actually move in 8 directions. Warcraft 1. It's like up, down, left, right, and then the diagonals. And that's it. Everything's in a grid.
No hand holding in the old days. We grew up control grouping our shit So I never got all these bad habits of like, oh, my warp gate's all keyed for me.
Oh, it's another proxy hatchery, by the way.
Is it the same version? Looks
We'll
like the
see,
gas is actually a little faster this game. So I think this is actually the proxy hatch spine crawler version.
Okay.
Mana versus Bly, of course. Who needs to intro? We don't need to intro. But
We did an intro last game. You guys know who it is. We introed game 1, kind of.
Bly's like, where'd that probe go, dude? Drone looking around. Does find it. Going back to the natural. Cybercore first, always a good choice against a pool first build order. Does often allow you to just chrono boost out an adept in time to stop any early zerglings. But has he found the proxy hatch yet? He has not. He's having a little look-see. Mana's going, ooh, what is this? And I'm very curious. I personally would stay one base here. I would not go for the Nexus. Because if Bly's doing it again, and you did the Nexus, I mean, Bly always has a reason. And that reason is he thinks he can friggin' kill your response from the last game.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, shit. Oh, it's Roach Horn again.
He might just be like...
immediately by Mana, by the way.
In the main as well. Really well protected. I like it. So I think we'll see a second gate to narrow this choke point, since obviously that's a rather thick choke point at the moment. And there's a lot of things I enjoy thick. I like thick cut fries. I don't like those shitty thin McDonald's ones. I like...
so you're more of a Hungry Jack / Burger King guy rather than a McDonald's kind of guy?
Oh, they're still pretty skinny. More like, like a KFC or a Porto or something like that. Nando's, they're all a bit better.
I do feel like KFC and
Schnitz have
Nando's,
really good ones as well.
That is true, yeah. I feel like KFC and Nando's, as far as like fast food goes, have the more superior fry.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the McDonald's fry. Oh, but it's cool. There's more surface area for the salt and grease. I'm like, I don't know. I've always enjoyed those thick cut fries. Like I like, even if you go back the classic like fish and chips one, or one from like a milk shop, and they're like a bit soggy in that paper bag,
Yeah, if it's gonna be thick, a little bit soggy and salty in your mouth, you want it to be thick. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you don't want it to be thin.
That's not weird.
If you're a fan of McDonald's, I mean, what do you want? Like a little bit of wet spaghetti in your mouth? Like, come on, you want something that you can really feel the girth of.
That's not going to satisfy anything. It's not going to press against any walls. Oh, good micro from Mana there. Oh, but a little bit too lax on that adept. He gets a bit of a surround with those Lang's force field to save the day, though.
That's what we call a clutch field and a clutch gate. Going down at the absolute last second. If there's one man who's... Oh, that's not a wall off. Never mind.
So if there's one man that could... Nope, it's not a wall.
Oh, shit.
No. As well. Will it finish?
And he's got a warp prism already. I mean, the warp prism is great, but I really feel just having more raw material has got to be a higher priority here. This probe runs forward and starts fighting. He says, I always wanted to be one of the boys and go in hand-to-hand combat with a pack of zerglings. Well, you've had your dreams, Matt, and you found out it's a little bit more than it's cut out to be. Oh, no, didn't get to save that. I do like this secondary. The secondary choke point with the Zealot's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely getting... It's working for Mana. It ain't pretty, but it's working. It's got that Prism with the Immortal again. So Mana really wants that one Immortal and one Prism really quickly here instead of just 2 Immortals.
We need another probe down here yesterday. That wall's about to break. You can't...
Right. It's one step closer to the edge.
Yeah, and it's... I mean, I'm all down with breaking bad habits, but right now, Mana is your wall that's about to be broken, and you gotta worry, dude. He's got a 3rd Immortal. He's rebuilding his Cybercore. It's a lot of Zerglings. There's no shield battery energy left. He's building probes right now. I know Mana's trying to rebuild his economy, but I think that wall and another shield battery on the low ground have to be a priority at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The double Immortal and Prism is really, really threatening. It's definitely forcing Bly's hand a little bit. But as you said, that wall is going to get broken, and he's in. I mean, that was going to happen.
It's a big mistake. The Immortal gets caught on the ramp. That Immortal, surrounded. Prism! No, the Prism saves the other Immortals. No! Why'd you turn around? Prism! Ouch.
These Immortals, they're still paying for themselves, though, these Immortals. 11 kills on one, 3 on the other. A lot of it is Ravages and Lings, so...
Feature an Overlord. Nah. I mean, Mana is so confident with these Immortals, and that's his real power, is any moment where Bly wants to go back and lick his wounds, his Immortals are in his face. He gets in one more time, the Zerglings go in, the Ravagers have to survive, so good pullback by Bly.
Do you know what we're learning from this game? Is that you don't need a wall in against Zerg.
Yeah, no, it's a trap, right?
Yeah, it's a debate.
It's a debate. I'm not so sure. I really do feel these trades are getting worse and worse for mana. So I'm not sure. I don't know, man.
Also, everyone playing from home, please wall in against Zerg. Don't listen to what I'm saying.
Oh, the Ravages are going down.
Oh, nice.
That's a big pickup. That is a big pickup right there. And you know what? He's still got 1 gateway power. The other 2 going down. Once again, Maulings in the main. But there's an Immortal there. And Bly, I think these Lings have got to just stay alive. He's going to get 1 Zealot. And then he's looking for the probes. The fight continues at the front. Those 2 Immortals just have taken out the proxy hatch. They're in the middle of no man's land. Bly's back to 1 hatch. I guess you give this man 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism and he can't lose. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, dude. He's got a Shield Battery in the main. There's a great anchoring point there. He's actually just won the game with these 2 Immortals. Mana's a god.
Yeah. He is, let's have a look. 16 kills and 1 Immortal, and I didn't get to click on the other one. He loaded it up too quick. Mana has finally remade the wall in with a Zealot in the front and a Shield Battery with a bit of juice. He's getting a natural Nexus. This actually has gone from very horrifying for the Protoss to completely comfortable.
Yeah, goodbye hatchery. And that goes bye-bye. That drone going to go down as well. We got 2 Queens and nothing else in the main. A desperate counter-assault here for Bly. Wants to get through that wall, but a single Zealot and Immortal say, no, no. Zerglings and Queens will push back this Prism for now. Does lose a little bit of the creep spread, but more Zerglings going down. The Immortal's up to 18 kills on one, 10 on the other. The Immortal at home on 9 kills. This is an elite team of Immortals. They have been just holding on so well all game long. And Bly's got to be frustrated.
The Chimera squad. The Chimera squad of Zealot, Immortal, and that War Prism.
Indeed, man. They're just OP, dude. It's a whole bunch of criminal Ravages and Zerglings. They're trying to create a weird alien sex cult, you know. They're like, oh, yeah, like, no.
Chimera storyline, man. I went for the investigation of those people that are like, I forget the name of the... I'm not really paying attention to the story in the game, but that cult that's like stealing humans.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that that's the first... It's not the Psi ones. It's the alien weapon ones, right?
Hybrid people, I think.
So is that the one where it's like they're the ones where you started fighting a lot of like mutons and adders and pythons and shit, right?
No. It's like androids and stuff.
Oh, okay. People. Yeah, that is the cult then. I think it's the cult.
Yep.
Sacred Coil, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I chose them on my first run through, but then I died. I got myself killed, so I'm doing the aliens now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing.
I didn't turn hardcore on.
Impossible hardcore.
So I lost because I didn't see the hardcore button. And then I was like, "Do you want to restart the level?" And I was like, "Oh, what's it punish me?" I click it, and it just restarts me like full everything. And I'm like,
"Oh, you didn't have Iron Man."
No, I didn't. I didn't have hardcore on. So then, because I didn't even see the button when I started the campaign. So I was like, so I just left. I was like, nope, I count that as losing. I'm restarting it. I'm switching that button on this time to make sure the game forces me to do it. I'm like, no way, man.
Bly's forcing this game to continue by getting a corner base and just trying to play it out. Amana has a force that can't really be stopped. It's sentries, it's immortals, slow zealots. Do they need to be fast zealots? Not really. When they arrive and they're in melee range, they're going to be at full efficacy here.
I wasn't really paying attention, I'll admit. I'm a bit out of it right now. What killed the Prism?
Queens, I think.
It's just Queens? Yeah. It's a bit of a mistake there. But, I mean, Ravager Ling's very good if you walk into Biles. Spire's on the way. There's pressure on Mana to do damage. If there's one man who can make a comeback, we really shouldn't counter him out, really.
No.
There's no warp in point.
We saw Bly Vindicta on this map and how Bly just completely turned that game around to actually giving him hope in a game that was on paper looked unwinnable.
New pet peeve. Not Revanger. Someone just called it a Reveger. It's not a vegetable.
Oh boy.
It's a fucking Ravager. It ravages. Do you know what ravage means? It's when you fuck shit up. That is the technical Weber's dictionary definition of what ravage means. There's a reason it's called it. It's because this unit fucks shit up, okay? Stop calling them revanges. Revenge is not a word. Revenge sounds like something you use to exfoliate your face. Oh, I just got a good revenge on my face and now my pores are so clear. It's not a fucking cool unit name. There's a Ravager. It ravages. Stop miscalling it different names. People who can't spell, aka 80% of the StarCraft community. Stop it! That's my chat
And with
rant.
that.
Fucking vegetable.
I think Pig might be mad, guys. We got a big counterattack here from Bly. The natural of Mana is... It's a full wall, but it's pretty naked.
Yeah, I mean, this is Mana. It's a trap, though, right? At some point, is Bly, you gotta go. He wants me to come in here, right? He keeps leaving this undefended. He's gonna go in. Depowers a lot of the gateways there. He's in the probe line. This game's about to get messy AF, Maynard. There's 3 mutas already out on the map. Wow, what a muta swap. He's gonna force the recall here. Dodging the biles with the prism very nicely.
Well, the mutas have arrived. Mana has a real Phoenix, though, amazingly, against these 3 mutas, which is all you need. Just the 1 Phoenix against those 3 Mutts, you're good. And probes have died, but Bly doesn't exactly have the biggest economy either. So I feel like as Mana is completely understandable to just go for the small Zealot counterattack and be completely fine with it. Spine Crawlers really desperately want to get in the natural. The Zealots with body blocking there for a second. 2 Spine Crawlers does not a defense make, so just walk past.
Yeah, the mutas are going to come back, and that beastly muta swap there is going to try and do what it can. I think at this point, Bly should realize he's going to lose his natural, hold the main ramp with spines, a concave of spiny crawlers, and then just micro your 5 mutas on top of the 2 I'm like running. I'm putting all. So we're diverting all power from the reactor and the secondary systems to try and find a win condition, but the computer cannot compute. It's just saying you're fucked. Type GG. I'm trying to figure out how Bly could do it. I have no idea.
This computer is broken. That's some mutas. I mean, you can't really juggle with the prism too much here. The mutas will eventually get rid of the prism.
Oh my god, he almost took out all the anti-air though. But now the Phoenix join in, and yeah, I mean it's.
Okay.
Yeah, that was sick plays as always by Bly to try to get back in this, but a clutch hold, honestly, just sick immortal micro. And I gotta say, so many players would have pulled back and reinforced the wall. Pulled back and defended their main. Mana said, no, I prioritize getting out 2 immortals and a warp prism. And my rule is those immortals and those warp prisms are always killing things. There is no point where I disengage. Even if you're in my main base, they will stay out front my wall chasing ravages and gunning down your reinforcements. And I'll just scrappily defend with whatever I can. And it's this crazy awesome thing to see because I was like, no, you're leaving yourself way too open. There's no way this works. But he made it happen and I'm very impressed. GG, well played. Mana holds on.